welcome back to the channel, and hopefully today we're going to be solving a long-term problem that I've been having with the Touareg. So for quite a while now, this has been making some horrible clicking noises, which, although as horrible as they sound, never thought it was actually that concerning. So this has got a lift kit on there. When you lift these, it puts extra angle on the bottom arms, which gives you more angle on your CV joints. So in my head, for however long it's been doing it for, this noise that we've been experiencing has just been the CV. So I've always carried a spare shaft in the car, just in case that CV joint failed and we needed to change the shaft, which is not the end of the world, which is why, again, I've never thought it was that much of a concern. But it has gradually got worse and worse, and a couple of weeks ago we went to Tixover and it was just horrendous. Like, it was the worst noise you've ever heard. And since then, it's done it on the road as well. So alarm bells started to ring then. We're thinking, might not be the CV joint. And then that was kind of confirmed. So I pulled it into the wash bay to wash off all the dirt, and then I was just about to do a 3-point turn, and it was as if the front and the rear diff were like locking up. So if you've ever had like a welded diff and you can feel the car skipping around, that's what this felt like, trying to manoeuvre it around the car park. So then at that point, we kind of knew that there was more of an issue than just the CV joint, because the CV joint wouldn't cause that problem. So we're now thinking it is the transfer box. So around a similar time, we've had one of the lads here, he's bought a Cayenne, 3-litre Cayenne, and that's been doing a similar noise. We stripped down his transfer box, and inside was absolutely horrendous. Probably the worst one we've ever seen. It had barely any oil in it. The liquid inside was just muddy water. Everything was rusty. The bearings had just failed and collapsed. We put a new transfer box on his, and the issues have now gone. So the problem we've got with this Touareg, this is an Escape model. So from factory, this has got the low range gearbox and the lock-in centre and rear differential, which means a normal Touareg transfer box on eBay might cost you 100, 150 quid. This one has cost £600, and we've had to have it imported from Europe. So I'm really hoping that by the time we've got this fitted, it's going to solve all the problems that we've been having for quite a while, that we thought there was CV, but hopefully is now just the transfer box. Once we've got this fitted, and if it does fix the problem, we'll get mine off, because our other 7P Escape model that uses the same transfer box as this is also getting the same clicking noises. You need momentum!
Big shafty that, like. Lovely.
Yes, Scott.
Got it at that.
Not as bad as this, but if it's making the noises now, then at some point it's just going to get gradually worse. So we're hoping we can get my transfer box off. We'll open it up, see what damage has been done, see if you can see what the problem is and why it's making the noise. And then we'll see if we can get a rebuild kit for that as well, and rebuild the one that's on the car now to fit onto our 7P, and then we can rebuild that one and hopefully have a spare for both vehicles. So yeah, fingers crossed, we'll get this in the workshop, we'll get this fitted, and hopefully it fixes all my problems that I've been having for quite a while. So I've just got it up on the ramp. I thought I'd show you what the mechanics have got to deal with when we get a car back from off-roading. Now, I thought I'd jet washed under here and done an half decent job of cleaning it, but as you can probably see, I've clearly not. So Reese has got a lovely job of working through all this mud and getting that transfer box off. So luckily on these it's not too difficult, there's not that much stopping it coming out other than the exhaust, the knees moving and that brace that we're about to take off. So hopefully it should just come out, new one go in and fix all the problems that we've been having, but we'll see. So we're just about all back together. We've got the new transfer case on the vehicle. So I've asked him to leave like the under tray and everything off because I think at some point I am gonna have to get this jacked up and, oh no, he's already swept up. He's gonna have to get jacked up at some point and have a really good jet wash under here because it is pretty disgusting. Yes. So yeah, let's get this off the ramp and see if that horrible clicking noise has disappeared. So first thing to try is we'll just make sure it's going into all the different settings. So we have got low range, we've got centre locker and we've got the centre and rear locker. So let's engage off-road mode. So that's come on, little green light, that's good. Low range mode, that's enabled. So now we can see on here we're in low range, but none of the diffs are locked. Centre, it sounds like it's done something underneath the car, which is good, shows that the centre's locked. And then centre and rear, again a bit of a click underneath the car, sounds like it's engaged. So now it's saying we've got centre and the rear locked, which is good. But for now we'll stick this back in on-road mode. We'll go for a quick drive and see if the noise has gone. So, moment of truth, any horrible noises? No, all good. So the horrible noise that I put up with for months and months, thinking, don't worry about it, it's just a CV. Turned out, it weren't just a CV, the transfer box. If you've got some horrible noises coming from your Touareg, this can be any of the Touaregs, early 7L models, 7P models, the Cayennes as well, they're all the same transfer box. I think the Amarok's transfer boxes are very similar. So if you've got any noises that you think might be the CV clicking, chances are might just be the transfer box. So now we know the problem is fixed, we'll get into the workshop and we'll strip down the old transfer box and see, one, what the damage is, if we can see any, and see if we can be rebuilt and reused. Right, so we've been on a road test, we know the new transfer box is good, or at least a lot better than the one that's come out. The true test is going to be when we actually take it off-road and see if it's still doing the weird clicky noise in the off-road situations. But for now, it's driving nice on the road, no problems at all. So what we're going to do now, we're going to drain the oil and then we're going to open it up and see if there's any signs of what was causing the noise all along. So let's crack on. Well, there's definitely some bits in it. So, not the definitive answer that we were looking for when we stripped this down. So, we've heard, or we know also of cases of this chain stretching, which if you look at it, it's not a bike chain, it's pretty robust, but apparently it does happen. That chain is the only component in this transfer box that we can actually get a replacement for, or at least a definitive replacement for that cross-references to that part number. I think this bearing, it's not horrendous, but doesn't sound the best. There isn't a cross-reference for that part number. I can see on there that it's an I&A bearing, and I think there's a bearing number. So we should be able to get a bearing that matches that. And yeah, I think the plan is, because there's nothing else really that we can see that's wrong with this, is replace the bearing, replace the chain, and then we'll probably put this transfer box in our other V6 Escape and see if this, with the new chain and the new bearing, cures the clicking noise on that. And that's all we can do really. So yeah, we'll order in some parts, we'll get this rebuilt, and then at some point in the future we'll get this fitted into the other Touareg. So back on the Touareg transfer case, it's been quite a while now since we actually had this all apart. As you can see, it has just been rebuilt back together. We're just about to send the bolts back in. Then we're going to pull the Darkside Touareg in to get this fitted, and then see if it cures the problems that we're having on that Touareg as well. Although that was never as bad as mine, whereas mine was doing it on the road, that one only seemed to do it off-road when you were lifting wheels and stuff like that. So we might have to get this in, we'll test drive it. Because this is the one out of mine, if it's got the same problems as before, then that Touareg should start making weird clicking noises on the road. If it's not making clicking noises on the road, then that's a good sign. But to test it thoroughly and make sure we've cured the problem on the Darkside Touareg, we're going to have to take it off-road and get the wheels lifted off the floor. So we'll let Warren crack on, we'll get these bolts sent in, and then we'll pull the car in and get that in the car. So the transfer box in the Touareg is now fitted. Warren has just been out on a quick road test and everything seems to be behaving how it should be. But the real test is when we get this off-road to see if it was doing basically what it was doing in mine and in this. So there is an event this weekend at Parkwood Off-Road Centre. We've been there plenty of times. There's definitely some footage of this making the noise up some of the hills there. So it'll be a good back-to-back test from how it was to how it is now with the rebuilt transfer case, and we might even dust off the scrapper rock and take that as well. So pretty sure the end of this video will be Rob testing this at Parkwood to see if it's fixed the problem. Fingers crossed.
Right, so I'm just at Parkwood. We've been here plenty of times before, and as you can see the hill behind me, we've been up and down there in the Touaregs and the Amaroks plenty of times. We'll have plenty of video footage of this making an horrendous sound going up there, and we've been trying to get to the bottom of it. As you can see from the video, we've changed the chain in the transfer case and it's absolutely night and day difference. I can't believe it, to be honest. We'll put in a video now of it going up.
You need momentum.
No drama whatsoever. It has actually changed the way the car drives, so super happy with it. And we have just pulled the Land Rover out. Hopefully somebody's going to send us some footage of that, because you can't be putting a Land Rover out in a Volkswagen. So yeah, call it a day now, get this cleaned up and then back to the workshop.